What's up, guys? Thanks for tuning in. Day 3 at Yellowstone. I tell you what, this was going to be our last full day there. We knew that we wanted to get over and see the geysers, see the hot springs. So that's the way we spent our last full day in the park. And man, it's so amazing. It's just so impressive that you can have such diversity inside this park. I mean, you can see wildlife, you have amazing views, and then you can see some of the coolest geological features that you'll probably see anywhere in the world, and that's over by Old Faithful and that whole the whole Yellowstone Geyser Basin.
Yellowstone has 2/3 of the world's geysers.
He knows the geyser facts.
On our way over to the geysers, we did see some elk and deer on the way.
Still getting daylight. It is not even 5:30 yet. That's still getting up at 3 a.m. Yellowstone. And now you can see them down over there. Where'd they go? Where'd they all go, Mom? Oh.
See them?
Yep. Up there. Somebody tried to dip out. After I turn off my camera, he goes to the elk. Probably about 15 seconds after I turn off my camera and we start driving. But they don't seem too worried about us.
You got a tag one. See the tag one right there?
Mm-hmm. What number is it?
I think it's like a tracking collar, maybe.
Oh, there's 2 of them.
There's 2 back there, yeah.
So finally light enough to finally get some good video. Deer back here. I have to see him. I'm not sure if Oh, is that blue elk back there?
In the very back?
I think that might be a blue back there, yeah.
Thanks.
Where's the mountain? Never more happy to be in the car right now. This elk is super close, all the way zoomed out. He is right there. A young bull right there.
Yep. Pretty big for a young guy, ain't it?
Yeah, giant. Yep.
We did. We came in, so this time we came back in through the east entrance, and as soon as we got up to where you have to make the left to go toward Old Faithful, as soon as we turned that way, we saw more elk. We saw a small male elk off the side of the road, and I tell you what, one thing we've noticed about elk behavior in Yellowstone, and it's very strange. The male elk aren't worried about anything. They will sit around the side of the road. They'll stand there. They'll lay there and let 100 people take pictures and video. Not a care in the world.
Nope.
The female elk, they will give you like one look, and you got about 3 seconds to get your pictures because they're out of here. They're not sticking around. So
unless they don't notice you, you're not gonna have very long to try to get pictures.
It's just something that we've noticed. We saw three male elk, and none of them had a care in the world. They just went on about their business like you weren't even there. The females, not so much. They were a lot more skittish. Not getting real close to the road, and not hanging around long and for you to get any pictures or video of them. But we did see those, so so that was awesome. Weren't planning on seeing a ton of wildlife. That's not really why we were there. That wasn't our focus on day 3.
And you can't be closer than 25 yards to elk and stuff, but in your car. Out of your car, 25 yards.
That's right.
We were right up close to the male elk right there.
So then we continued on. We got over to Old Faithful. We were trying to get there the scheduled, kind of the rough idea time where it might be erupting was going to be around 7:15 a.m. So we got there about 6:45, and it was a little later than 7:15. So
Correction,
we
later.
have one member of our family that is not the most patient in the world. We won't say any names, but
He'll let you know who.
yeah, he's not ashamed of it. Man says he has no patience.
Yeah, I have no patience at all. That's it, that's all we came for.
Keep watching.
Pretty far away.
It hasn't been the actual thing yet. I haven't been the actual thing yet. This is definitely
It's still actually shooting out just on the side. That's how much pressure that is. That time it's got water.
And we kept telling him it's going to be worth it. It's going to be worth it. Dylan, was it worth it?
Yeah, it was worth it, I'm not even gonna lie.
Was that pretty cool to see?
Yeah.
See all that water shoot up out of the ground like that?
Yeah.
Had a lot of false alarms at first before it before it finally erupted.
Yeah.
Had some little mini eruptions.
Yeah, they come on already.
So getting there early was awesome. There was, by our count, rough count, there's about 100 people there. But it's such a big area that everybody was spread out, and it didn't feel like 100 people at all. It felt like you were there with 20 or 30 people. But everybody had plenty of room to see Old Faithful, erupt without being all crowded out. It was an awesome experience. Caught the tail end of it on video. I think there, didn't get the beginning of it. That's my bad. Sometimes you get more wrapped up in the awe of something than getting it on video, and that's kind of what happened to me. But and we didn't really have time allotted in the day to go back and see it again, so we got what we got. But from there, we wanted to go up and see Grand Prismatic Spring. I mean, legendary, iconic. You see hundreds and hundreds of pictures of it. Everybody that comes to Yellowstone, goes and sees it up that way. So we went up there, and since we were there so early, had a lot of steam coming off of it, so it was kind of hard to see some of those. But the breeze started to pick up, started to blow a little bit of that steam off, and that's when we could really get a good view of some of those springs.
I have no idea how you possibly found it.
There's animal tracks. There's deer tracks right there, Dad. Stuff to make it. This water. This water there.
Probably from yesterday.
we ended up getting up to Grand Prismatic somewhere roughly around 8:30, and it was already starting to get busy. There was already a good number of people there, and then by the time we left, about 45 minutes later, it was packed. I mean, there were loads and loads of people coming in. So again, like we said in that first video, getting up early, key in the summertime. I think next time we visit, we're planning on maybe trying to come in the fall, just to see it at a different time of year. The wildlife will be behaving differently then.
Yeah,
the weather will be different.
The elk will be bugling, and the bed will be getting ready for hibernation. Bison will be doing what bison do.
Yeah, so I think that's our plan is to come back during the fall next time and get a feel for it then. But coming in the summertime, you better plan on getting up early because it gets busy. They have a one-way loop you can drive around some other geysers. You know, it's just amazing. You drive through there, you can hear the water boiling in the ground, and
yeah. What?
You can hear the water gurgling in there.
Yeah.
Can you hear it, Dylan?
You're about to erupt?
Listen.
You're about to erupt?
Listen.
Yeah. It's just bubbling.
That's crazy. You know, they don't go off as frequently. Some of them are still active, but the times, one of the times we saw gave like a 2-day time frame. They could go off anytime within those couple days. So not as predictable as Old Faithful, but they are still active.
Yeah, it's a pretty neat area to drive through, and just to hear them bubbling and gurgling and making noises and just seeing all the steam. It's a much neater area than we thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I mean, you know, our big thing obviously is wildlife. We love seeing wildlife. Getting to see those grizzly bears on day one, seeing all the elk, really was a huge highlight for us, and something that
we've seen bison before, but bison are my favorite animals.
Yeah,
so.
Dylan loves the bison, so getting in that bison jam there and having all those bison all around on day 2 was awesome. So, you know, we really had some highlights, and I really think we got to experience some pretty awesome stuff on those first 2 days. Weren't sure about the guys. I mean, you know, it's they're neat to see. They're neat to see in pictures, but pictures don't do them justice. They really don't. I mean, it's pretty awesome when you get there and you're seeing them in person. It's a whole different experience, and actually we ended up spending a lot longer there. We were planning on spending just a few hours checking that stuff out, and we ended up spending over half a day there, just driving around looking at all the different geysers and all the hot springs. So
yeah, we even saw a tiny geyser bubble, and that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, and then when you stop to think about what you're driving on top of, why those geysers are there, why those hot springs are there, and you realize what you're driving on top of. It's a very active area underground there. It's pretty wild. So we decided to call it a day and start making our way out of the park. And of course, since it was a day that we weren't focused on looking for any kind of wildlife, of course that's the day when we're going to see a couple more highlights of the trip right on the end. So as we're headed out, a bunch of cars pulled over, of course, and there was a black bear right off the edge of the road, just digging in the ground, eating. So it was a real light color. Actually, we ended up seeing a total of 5 bears. The black bears we saw were all really light colored. Didn't see any black bears, but this guy was right off the road. We got just a little quick snip of video of him before he got off into the woods. So after we saw him, we continued on out of the park, and one last little bonus right close to where we saw our second grizzly bear. As we're coming around this bend, again, tons of cars pulled over. You see tons of cars pulled over like that. It means there's probably something cool up there. Probably a bear. Yeah. And that's what this was. Man, all the way out of the park on the last day here. Awesome. That is awesome. That is bear number 5. This guy was pretty far off. He was off up against a hill, off in the distance. But we got some video of him. Super awesome to see that on our last day there. Very much looking forward to getting back here. Like I said, I think we're going to try a fall trip back here. Man, such an awesome place. And if you're, go ahead, Dylan.
And 100 more awesome.
I mean, if you're on the fence, or you're thinking about it, or you think one day you might want to come out and see Yellowstone, man, stop thinking about it. You need to come and do it. Do what you gotta do. Come and do it. I think next time we're going to try to stay. Fishing Bridge Campground is the only full hookup campground inside Yellowstone.
And it has service.
They have there's excellent cell signal there for Verizon anyway. So I think next time we're looking at maybe trying to do a week or so inside the park. It would be so much more convenient. I mean, we had 35 miles to get to the park, which means when you get done, you got 35 miles to get back home, which was about a 40-minute drive each way. Makes it kind of tough, you know.
And you don't have to get up as early if you can't.
Yeah, I mean, that's why we were getting up at 3 a.m. You know, we wanted to beat the crowds. It gets daylight. I mean, it's starting to get daylight at 5:15 in the morning in the summertime here. So, you know, if you want to be there right at first light, you better get up early and get going.
Very early.
And like I said, you're going to beat the crowds, which is a big thing, especially in the summertime. So
Dylan didn't think that there was going to be a park that would beat Custer State Park as far as his favorite parks.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty much impossible, but
now what do you think?
we probably saw more bison, and we saw some elk at Custer, but there's probably more elk. There's probably more of everything. We didn't see any bears at Custer, obviously, because it's in South Dakota. But
so now is Yellowstone your new favorite park?
No question, obviously, yeah.
So Dylan,
it's my new favorite park too.
So Dylan has his YouTube channel. It's Dylan from Florida, and he's going to have a video coming out with all the wildlife that he captured on his own.
Yep, it'll be all Dylan video. All the wildlife with his commentary, which is always awesome.
Bison, elk, bears.
So that'll be coming out here very shortly as well on his channel. If you haven't subscribed to him, make sure you do, because he has some very entertaining videos over on Dylan from Florida. And so it's on to the Grand Tetons. So we will wrap this one up.
I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you like and subscribe and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. And Chippy Outdoors. Bye, guys.
All right, we'll catch you guys down the road from the Grand Tetons, Grovant Campgrounds.